What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a very exciting Liverpool transfer news video because finally Liverpool signed a player who can play defensive midfield, but sadly it's a youngster and not a first team player because Fabrizio Romano is reporting that Liverpool have completed a deal for 16-year-old talent Alvin Ayman to join the Liverpool Academy from Wolves. But don't scoff at this transfer because this kid could become a superstar in the future and Liverpool are doing more and more of these deals. We signed Harvey Elliott like this from Fulham and he went on to become a real star at Liverpool, and we signed Fabio Carvalho in a similar deal which we made a big profit on him. So I think this is one of the great things that Liverpool's recruitment team is doing, but we will also take a look at what Liverpool needs to do in the transfer market to help the team become better, because I think a lot of Liverpool fans' frustrations comes from the fact that we know that we are one or two big transfers away from truly challenging for the title, because if Arne can improve the finishing of Darwin Núñez and if we can keep more of the squad fit, if Jota can stay fit for the majority of the season, Liverpool have the genuine firepower to challenge Man City and Arsenal for the title. But we need a defensive midfielder and potentially another centre-back. Arne said recently that Kwanzaa got injured in training, so he's now a fitness out for the Liverpool-Brentford game. So now Liverpool have only Van Dijk, Konate and Joe Gomez as the free centre-back options, and Joe Gomez could be sold before the transfer window closes. Surely then we will sign a new player. But let's talk about Alvin Ayman, who is a 16-year-old talent, very close to his 17th birthday. And Fabrizio Romano confirmed that Liverpool completed his transfer. He signs a 5-year deal and we pay £2 million of a compensation fee to Wolves, and Premier League's 5-step approval was completed. So Ayman had been the subject of interest from many top 6 clubs in the Premier League. So it comes as no surprise to see Liverpool finalizing their swoop. Man United also wanted to sign him, but Liverpool have been proactive and urgent and we got the deal done. And David Lynch is reporting that this is another step in Liverpool's fruitful transfer policy. So surely behind the scenes Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards are working on making transfers to the first team, not just the academy. Of course, this is not a transfer that will get you out of your seat or get you very excited, but his signing forms part of a transfer policy that has proven extremely fruitful for Liverpool of late. I just gave you 2 examples, but we signed so many young players who now we are selling on for big profits into the Liverpool Academy that went on to become either first team players at Liverpool or they were sold for 10 or 20 times the profit. And this is a very important strategy for Liverpool's future because we don't have mega rich owners like Manchester City. So we need to sign players when they are very cheap, and previously Liverpool signed Kieran Höver, Pedro Chirivella, Musialowski. We all sold them for profit. And even the hugely promising Stefan Bajcetic have joined Liverpool from Celta Vigo just days before the United Kingdom's exit from the European Union was finally signed off. And it looks like we could loan Bajcetic out before the end of the transfer window. But if we do, surely we will sign a defensive midfielder to the first team, because we can't loan Bajcetic out and not bring in a defensive midfielder. But after the UK left the European Union, now Liverpool have to find players who are younger than 18 years old in the UK to sign because of the fresh regulations. And Liverpool have been hugely successful with this strategy, because look at how many young players broke through during Jurgen Klopp's final season. We had like 12 youth academy players breaking through into the first team. Take, for example, Bobby Clark, who arrived from Newcastle as a 16-year-old. He made 12 appearances. He probably wasn't good enough to become a Liverpool first team regular, so we sold him for 10 million, getting like 9.5 million profit on him. James McConnell joined from Sunderland and he also had a very important cameo in the League Cup final Kyle Gordon joined from Derby County when he was 16 years old, and he's very talented as well. Liverpool are working on loaning him out. And Trainioni already made his debut for Liverpool following a summer move from Leicester City, and he only turns 17 years old this month. And he is in line to sign his first professional contract, and Trainioni could be in the Liverpool squad in some games because he impressed Arne hugely in pre-season. And probably the fact that Liverpool have given so many young players a pathway to the first team, and so many young players were given a chance to prove themselves in the Premier League and in the cup competitions, convinced Ayman to sign for Liverpool, because that has appealed for him hugely. Simon Jones, very good English reporter, is reporting that Liverpool looks set to sign Wolves teenager Alvin Ayman, but Fabrizio Romano already concluded that the deal is finished and it's done, it's official, and he can play in the defensive midfielder role as well as a centre-back. He joined Wolves Academy from Bradford City, and he has made so much progress that Gary O'Neill has included him in first team squads to gain valuable experience. He travelled with Wolves first team to Man City in May, and Liverpool's scouting department has been active in recent years when it comes to mopping up exciting prospects from around the UK. We signed Ben Doak from Celtic, I think, in a very low-cost deal, and Ben Doak already is worth around 8 to 10 million pounds. I tried to find a detailed scout report on Ayman, but I couldn't. The most that we know about him is that he made 9 appearances for the Wolves under-18 and under-21 sides last season, and that is very impressive for a player who is just 16 years old. And the Liverpool fan on one of the Liverpool forums said that Liverpool have a massive advantage in player recruitment at these age levels. We have a clear and evident path to first team football, and if that fails, we have excellent loan contacts to get the players a platform to shine and get their careers going. We signed Sepp van den Berg from PEC Zwolle like 5 years ago. We loaned him out to a number of clubs, and he has built up so much experience that now he was sold to Brentford for 25 million, and he will play regular Premier League football. So joining Liverpool as a young player is very fruitful for their careers, and it also helps that we have teams like Preston and Blackburn in the Championship who are pretty close geographically to Liverpool. He's left-footed, he's a centre-back, but he can also play as a defensive midfielder, as a number 6, which is quite funny because Liverpool are in desperate need of a defensive midfielder. But we have to wait and see how the Liverpool Academy uses him. But probably one of the reasons why Liverpool sold so many of the young players is because their stock is very high right now, and also to make room for these players that we are signing, because the next wave of young talents are coming through at Liverpool, and you can't keep all of the 20, 21, 22-year-old players in your squad if you want to give these guys a chance to showcase their talents. And this is a great deal by the club, no messing about, no doubt about it, no debate. He's only 16 years old, so to pick him up for 1.5 to 2 million pounds is an absolute bargain, because even if he just becomes a 10 million pound player, that's a brilliant profit for Liverpool. But he has the potential to become a Liverpool first team player. Trainioni cost absolutely peanuts for Liverpool, and he is one of the biggest talents, I believe, in the UK, and he could become a Liverpool first team player in 1 or 2 or 3 years. Rio and Gumoa deal is also going through the approval process. It takes a lot longer than expected, but I already reported on that. And we need to switch our expectations, I think, because a lot of Liverpool fans, rightfully pointed out by this fan, are stuck in the Liverpool Jurgen Klopp style and mindset. Arne Slot has a new style, which is a different mindset. It's a different ideas. And if a player doesn't fit the Arne Slot playing style, they will be sold or loaned out. He is brutal, he is ruthless, and that's what we wanted, because under Jurgen Klopp, sometimes it felt that he was too loyal maybe to some players, and it has been shown in recent days with Liverpool selling a lot of their young players. You should have all been open-minded and prepared for a change, this fan says. I don't know why people are making a meal out of it, when if anything new will always come with questions. And yeah, I understand, because you don't want to sell too many of our young players who could make it into the Liverpool first team, but probably Arne Slot knows that these young players will not be good enough to play for Liverpool. And if we are brutally honest with ourselves, Sepp van den Berg is not a player who should play for a title challenging team, because he's not on that level. Probably Brentford is his level, mid-table Premier League club. Same with Fabio Carvalho. He's a good player, but he's not on the level to contribute to a title chasing team. So it's better to sell these guys right now when their stock is really high, so you get very good money for them. They get regular playing time, regular football, and Liverpool can move on with their lives and reinvest the money, hopefully. And another Liverpool fan is saying that Fulham are seriously pushing for the signing of Joe Gomez. They are willing to offer a transfer fee in the region which Liverpool demand, but Liverpool are beginning to get reluctant on any more defensive sales after selling Sepp van den Berg. And I think we shouldn't use Joe Gomez as a money-making operation, because even if we get 40-45 million, unless you sign a Piero Hincapié from Leverkusen, I don't want to lose Joe Gomez. And the injury to Kwanzaa proves that Liverpool are already very threadbare in that position. So if Kwanzaa can't make the squad against Brentford, Joe Gomez has to be on the bench, because you just can't go into the season with Konate and Van Dijk as your two main centre-backs, Kwanzaa as backup, and that's it. That's not enough. If Konate or Van Dijk gets injured, then Kwanzaa has to play every game, every 3 days when the Champions League starts. So it's absolutely imperative that either Liverpool sell Gomez and replace him with a world-class player, or we should keep Gomez. And I think he deserves to stay at Liverpool, and with Kwanzaa injured, he will get a lot more playing time. David Ornstein on the Overlap show said on this number 6 defensive midfield position for Liverpool, unless Liverpool finds somebody that they are completely happy with, they will wait and bide their time and be patient and be brave about that, because it's going against what a lot of the public and the fan bases want, which is transfers. And this feels like it comes directly from Liverpool FC, from the hierarchy who briefed David Ornstein. And I don't like this gaslighting of the Liverpool fan base, because that's quite insulting. Most of Liverpool fans agree we don't need surgery, we don't need 5, 6, 7 transfers, but we need 1 or 2 pieces of business, 1 or 2 transfers to augment the Liverpool squad and to elevate the Liverpool squad to the next level. Because we have seen what Band-Aids do. We don't want a scenario where Liverpool are scrambling on the last day of the transfer window, bringing in Ozan Kabak and Davis, who is now playing for Rangers. We want players who improve the first team. And yes, that's hard to find. But now Liverpool have the money. Liverpool sold players worth £75 million. And Paul Gorse is confirming that Jero Kwanzaa is not involved in Liverpool training. The defender is an injured out for Sunday. Arne Slot confirmed this morning. He said on Tuesday Kwanzaa picked up a bit of an injury and he couldn't train Wednesday, so let's see if he can train today. And what I don't also like is that Arne Slot is facing the media, answering all these questions about transfers, when it should be Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards sitting down answering questions about the transfer policy in the press conferences. And Sammy Hughes is reporting that rather than quiz managers about transfers over which they have no control, it's time to hear from people who are really in control. And it was very encouraging that Richard Hughes was involved in the press conference where Arne Slot was unveiled, but now he's hiding. He's behind the scenes and he's not facing the media. Which is very telling, I think, because all the blame will fall on Arne Slot, where I think it should fall to Richard Hughes. And the Premier League landscape changed a lot, because just 10 years ago there were only 6 directors of football in the Premier League, but now every club has it. But we are yet to see one of these sporting directors face a press conference in the same way a head coach like Arne Slot has to. And Richard Hughes was not at the table when Liverpool did the pre-Ipswich press conference with Arne Slot, even though one of the main topics of conversations was about Martin Zubimendi. Why wasn't Richard Hughes facing the press, because it's his job to get this Zubimendi transfer done, or get a defensive midfield transfer done. And Arne Slot was shielding Richard Hughes, saying they tried everything to bring him in. But Richard Hughes should have been the guy who explained this to the media. Arne Slot will get fed up constantly answering questions about transfers. And I can't imagine Liverpool don't sign a first team player in this transfer window, but if they do, then the Liverpool fan base will go absolutely crazy. On top of that, what kind of message does that send to Mo Salah, Virgil van Dijk and Trent Alexander-Arnold? 3 players who are surely will get contract offers from Liverpool. What kind of message does that send about the ambition of the club? We sell players worth 75 million, but we don't sign anyone, even though we have a new manager, a new era, and we need to kickstart it by backing the new manager, and instead he doesn't get any transfers. Another Liverpool fan said Arne Slot's response to the transfer question and trusting the squad is much closer to the reality of how these elite managers, except Mourinho and Antonio Conte, see the game than the head loss you see on Twitter, panicking over every possible worst case scenario. Clearly him and the club wanted Zubimendi, and he would have maybe preferred 1 or 2 others in the window too, but they also know the reality of how top level football works. And you can tell with Slot, as much as like with Jurgen Klopp as well, he already finds the transfer obsession way above what it should be. But I think Liverpool fans are entitled to at least one big transfer in this transfer window, and I think it's fair game criticizing the owners and Richard Hughes if they don't bring a transfer in, because that leaves the Liverpool squad short, in my opinion, and it also lets down Arne Slot. Let me know what they think about this. Arne Slot said, I think we are on a good track. You have to understand, some of them have only been here, some of the players, for 3 weeks. It's not only about us, but about what the opponent brings in the game. It's which made it difficult. I'm learning every day about the players and the individuals, how they play together. I learned last week how the players didn't play on Saturday trained well on Sunday. They brought in a good training session that will help them. I'm still learning new things with the players. It's normal. I've only worked with them for 3 weeks. Arne Slot said, I think you don't know already the answer about news on potential signings. If a deal is done, you will hear from us. I trust the team. I have inherited a very good team with young players. We trust them a lot. They proved that they have earned our trust. So let's just support Arne Slot against Brentford, and let's hope Liverpool make a big transfer before the transfer window ends. Otherwise, the Liverpool fan base will go absolutely crazy, and rightfully so. Let me know what they think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later, guys. Goodbye.